6 days on from being crowned champions at Tottenham, Highbury hosted the first in a 4-game run to remain unbeaten. But the quality and commitment that had delivered them a league title was nowhere to be seen as the Gunners struggled against Birmingham City.
To be honest, I don't know if you remember that game that we played against Birmingham at home. That game was shocking. Thank God for us that that game was at Highbury that day. Because we just managed. That's all we did that day, we managed.
After a dour, goalless draw at Highbury, Arsenal headed to Portsmouth. The hype around their quest for immortality was growing, as was the size of the target on their backs.
Over the top of Toure is Yakubu.
A goal down at half-time, and their backs to the wall, it was the turn of another veteran to step up and inspire his teammates.
Then Jens, being Jens, he arrived in the dressing room, started to shout.
There were some arguments in the dressing room about what was happened. But that showed us that as a team we really cared about our results and about our performances.
Henri! Is it in? No, it's not. It's going to go from somewhere. They got it and it's Reyes. It's his first in the Premiership. And it's very well timed. Oh, the header on from Iwawa. Yakubu! That's Arsenal's unbeaten record there. What a chance. Still unbeaten with 2 games left now. It was a bit too close for comfort at times.
They just did enough, you know. They just did enough to be mediocre, but they refused as well to lose. And every single game until the end was suffering because I felt that the enthusiasm, the sharpness had gone, but we just did enough not to lose the games.
After the fight against Portsmouth, the Gunners held their nerve 5 days later away to West London outfit Fulham for a 1-0 win. The job was almost done, and bottom side Leicester were the final hurdle. For 37-year-old Martin Keown, this game was more than simply a roadblock to history. After graduating from the youth team in 1984, this day had even more significance for the defender, who'd made more than 300 appearances in 2 spells for the Gunners.
Listen, for me, you're asking the wrong person. It was such an emotional day for me because it was my last game for Arsenal Football Club. It was a carnival-like atmosphere. We were playing Leicester, who were relegated, so it almost seemed like a formality, the result. You stood there as a player thinking, I've come to the club as a youngster, you know, first stepped out onto Highbury as when they did evening training back in the early 80s, dreaming of those things. So to be able to pull it off and be a part of a group like that, truly great days for the football club.
90 minutes left in his career. Keown and his teammates were also 90 minutes from immortality. A record which had held firm since 1889 was almost broken. And history was up for grabs.
I remember the build-up to the game, turning up at the marble halls, getting off the coach, you could see the crowd developing, and you could just sense the atmosphere that this is the day that we make history.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, all of a sudden the atmosphere was different, and we knew that we could just achieve something great historically.
The Arsenal fans may have started the party early, but Leicester City had other ideas. The Foxes wanted to be spoilers.
And looking for Paul Dickoff on the far post. That wasn't in the script, was it? And how ironic that it's a former Arsenal player who makes that little piece of history for the Gunners that little bit more difficult now.
One minute down at half-time, Dickoff scored. And you're like, oh, come on, I mean, the last game, would have been a bit stupid.
You could just sense the stadium thinking, we're going to blow it last game of the season at home to Leicester, and one of our old players, Paul Dickoff, has scored the goal, which would, would make history, really.
45 minutes was all that remained. What would the headline read this time? Chokers or Invincibles?
I felt it was absolutely too stupid to come all that way just to cross the line and to fail, and I told them that way of thinking, and I got a great response, I must say, in the second half.
Looking ball for Cole. Ashley Cole! It's a penalty. It's the equaliser. The record is still in sight for the Gunners. Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira. Make note of the date. May the 15th, 2004. History has been made. One of the greatest achievements since English football began. Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing. The first time it's happened for over 100 years. Played 38, won 26, drawn 12, lost exactly none.
Zero. That's it. That's the line for me.
When I am a manager and I look at the table of my team, I look always at the L and how big this number is, When you can see L, 0, that's where you can be really, really happy.
Yeah, it's bloody impressive. It's quite remarkable.
Going a whole season without losing, it's like a dream.
I was alright, could have done better. It's 12 draws, probably 5 or 6 too much.
From the first minute to the last, the achievement is defined most by its collective nature. Everyone played their part in this triumph, and none more so than the architect, Arsene Wenger. A year earlier, he was vilified for declaring that the team he assembled could achieve the seemingly impossible. Now, he was vindicated. Since his shock arrival from Japan in 1997, the Frenchman had masterminded a revolution in North London.
He allowed us to be ourselves, he allowed us to be successful, and just brought out the talent that we already had.
Always believing in the players, willing them on to do more than they think they can do.
Belief. He actually knew it before we did, because he said it the year before.
There is only one gold Premier League trophy in existence, and it belongs to these men. For every year that passes, the accomplishment grows in stature. Along with those, they call Invincible.
I think maybe that group could have won more. And I think, had we won the Champions League that season, it would have gone down as maybe one of the greatest teams of all time.
The record we broke, it was like over 100 year record. You can't get away from that. It's, you know, and that was when I think it's when there was only 12 teams in the league.
I mean, we've all won medals. I mean, I'm so lucky to play with some amazing players, work under amazing coaches. That has got to be up there with the best of them.
Being an invincible, yeah, it's nice, but don't wake up in the morning and think, well, I'm an invincible, because the expression itself is a bit arrogant.
Time will pass. The history selects always what is the most difficult to achieve, and time will tell. These players will become bigger and bigger, and every other team at the Arsenal Football Club, at some stage, even if they achieve great things, will be compared to them.
Man United won the treble. Some team wanted to achieve other stuff, other challenges, but we did this one.